So for the skirt, which I think will be the trickiest part because it is plaid and how do you crochet plaid? And the plaid technically is like diagonal plaid, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do straight up and down plaid, and because that's just so much simpler. Basically, we'll just need a long rectangle that wraps around your waist, and then an even longer main part of the skirt that you pleat later, so you need lots of extra, but we'll work that out after we finish the waistband. So for now I'm just going to show you how I think I'm going to do that part.
Here's a quick time lapse over the failed attempt that I had done. It was cute, but it just wasn't giving me what I wanted.
Okay, so I've tried a couple different methods for making the plaid part of the skirt, the plaid pattern, and a couple of them like worked, but I didn't really like. So I'll show you the one that I've settled on and how to make it. This is kind of what it's going to look like, and we're going to fold these bits. It's obviously doesn't make much sense, and we're just focusing on the waist part of the skirt. So that this is what is going to look like, and it's just going to wrap around. In order to make this pattern though, we are going to need to make like little short strips of these colors. So to do that, we will, and I do the chain in a 4.5 hook because I feel like it fits the rest of it better. I chain 5, change to just a 4mm hook, and half double crochet in 4 stitches, skipping the first one, and then I just chain, turn, and half double crochet 4, and we just repeat that until we have 10 rows. So very simple. And then we just change the color, which I'll show you how I do it because I think it leaves the smoothest change part. Okay, so I've finished my 10 half double crochets, and to change the color to dark red, or just red I guess, or dark pink, I'm going to grab the pink. I'm going to put my hook through these 3 hoops that we made in the last half double crochet, grab the red and pull it through the hoops, and then we'll just go bring the pink back on, tighten that a bit, and bring the new color up and bring it, and then pull these 2 ones, and then we can cut off the last color. And now you can flip and continue doing your half double crochets again for 10 rows. And that's what we repeat. So once we finish these 10 rows, we change the color back to pink, and then 10 more rows, change the color back to dark pink, which will end up looking like that. So this way. My pinky is a little short, but this is how it goes. And we also do the opposite. So we also do different colors for the middle piece, which is blue, then pink, then blue, then pink. And you need to just make lots of those to make it so it fits around your waist. And then you sew these pieces together. To make these bigger pieces, all you do is what you've done with these short ones, but times 3. So the beginning chain, instead of crocheting 4, then 1 extra, you do 12, then 1 extra, which would be 13. And then you do 10 rows again, so it's still 10. Change the color to blue, and it's always blue, it's never red. Red's only in this one. Then pink, then blue again. And just crochet a bunch of those. Okay, so I've made all the things that I think I need to make. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so we need 14 of these rows to be made. For me, I made 14. And I'll show you how I sew up the pieces. So for each piece, I do a strand about double the length of the thing that I'm about to sew. And when I sew it together, I tie it to one of the ending strands. Boop. That's a bit twisted, whatever. And then I just sew it together like this. Trying to keep the rows lining up. There's like lines in the thing. Try to keep those in line, because you should have the same amount of those lines in each part. I just do this the whole way up, and then there's usually a end at the top here, which I tie it to. And that's how I literally do it for each round, each row, I guess. Okay, so I finished sewing together all the pieces I need. I decided I didn't need the one extra on the side, and technically this isn't going to line up perfectly, but whatever. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold these corners over so that it looks like the start of a waistband. And we'll do that for all of them. And then we're going to put in, there are like gold stripes on the skirt waistband thing. So that's what we'll do next. Okay, so I figured out how to like sew in the lines like I like. And so we're going to use this gold, which I feel like in real life kind of looks a bit green, but whatever. It's close enough. And we sew along, there's like this line here, if you can see. We sew just next to the line. And the way that I sew it, I fold over this part so that it's like caught and will be sewed down by this. And then I just tie this. Do that twice. And I don't know what type of stitch it is. It's definitely a stitch, but I'm not sure which. I'm going to go in the back way. Okay, and then I go where the middle of that line is, and then go into the next space. Go back into the middle of the line. And then move forward. Middle of the line. Move forward and try to keep where you're going, because sometimes it doesn't line up perfectly, so it looks a bit weird. Oh, I'm not in the frame. And so we just repeat that over and over again until we reach the end. Okay, I've sewed in these blue lines. Now I'm going to sew, but not sew, I'm going to, I think, crochet in blue down these lines, I think. Okay, so I found a new way to do the lines that turns out I like better. So basically, instead of sewing, we're still just crocheting stuff. Oh, stuff in my hands. So we're just going to slip knot, and then we're going to do a bunch of slip stitches. So we're going to grab this. We do slip stitches. We're doing this line, right? We're going to go here, we're going to here, and here, and that's repeated. How am I going to record this smoothly? So we grab this under here, and where the line meets each other, we just put the hook in, and we grab the yarn and pull it through, just like a slip stitch, then pull that through. But I feel like this might be harder for some people, but I feel like this is easier for me. I like this better. Because like sometimes you grab onto some stuff from behind, but I just kind of get rid of it. Okay, so that's how you do that. And so you can do that with all the colors, doesn't matter. I thought it was going to make like thicker than this, but it doesn't. So okay, so this I think is done now, which is fabulous. This is so finicky, this skirt is so frustrating. But this part at least is done, so now we're just going to move on to the pleated end of the skirt, which will take so long as well. Look like enough time for what it took, but whatever. So I've crocheted 10 of these strips, 5 of these, and 5 of these, and I'm going to set them up how I need to, and I bet it's not enough. Okay, so remember it's this repeated just over and over again, and you should always have these. It goes up like diagonal, and just sew all these together. Come back in several hours. It's not anywhere close to being done. The more time I spend on this, the more I'm realizing that nobody is going to make this. Because it's too long, takes too much time. But I will finish. I'll finish this. But a tutorial is so unnecessary. So much saliva in my mouth, that's gross. Well, I'll come back in like a week when I'm done. How fun. Okay, I finally finished doing, that's so much. Okay, I finally finished this portion, the rest of the skirt stuff. And the way that I figured out I've finished is this lines up, which I measured around my waist, and that fits with this just about. I kind of like the edges, kind of not, but whatever. And so now I'll unfold the pleats because they're not sewn together, and I'll add all these in the lines, and then I'll repleat them, or maybe I'll sew this side to this side and then that to that, just to, I think that might be easier. But I've been doing this for so long, so I'm excited. I look fabulous. I'm glad to move on to the next part. I've just touched my hair, which is why it's not like that. So I'll come back when I finish that. I'll come back when I finish that. I did that. My hands hurt. My wrist, this one, dead. But I have finished this, and now I just have to fold it into pleats and then line it up with that, and I'll sew it. I'll show you, and then this will be done. Okay, so here's how it looks. It's all pleated. It does actually look better than I expected. And I'm going to pin this to the top. You don't have to, but I think that it's going to be way harder if you don't. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so how I'm going to do this is with the colour, I'm going to just sew and then I'll change colours because I think that will be the easiest way. I'm not going to do it very nice because I've spent so much time on this, so it's as nice as it gets. Okay, I sewed it together. So now we are going to sew this onto this. So I've turned it the other way and folded it over, and here's the line here. And we'll sew that, and it still has the weird bottom, which will change eventually. So we're just going to sew along this line. Okay, I sewed the thing. It's also, this is the front now. And the last thing to do for the skirt is to fold all these over and sew them down. And weave in whatever ends. Try to do that as simple as you can, but it's going to be annoying. Okay, I finished the thing. It's all sewed or whatever. I still have so many ends, but I'm just going to leave those for now. And it's very heavy. It just is, you know, I feel like it looks less chaotic on the camera than it does for me. But I don't really like it. But we're just going to push through because that's what I've been doing the whole time. Oh no, that would be the end. So, tie, shirt. Tie is next. And then that'll be everything. So we're just going to do the tie. I guess I could sew that together. No, I don't think I'll be able to get my head in. How am I going to do this tie? Maybe I'll do a clip-on one. I think that's what I'm going to do. Because it might have to be sewed in at the bottom because I didn't allow an area for it to be tucked in, which is dumb. So maybe if you want to do that, but that's not how I'm going to do it. So I think it's not going to be like a tie that goes around like this. It's just going to be this part and then this little part of the tie. Okay, my bad for the tie because I just did not film me making it at all. But it's very similar to how we did these bits here. But just red and pink. And we're doing it sideways this time. And we did 3. So it's 3 things wide this time. And the length of them was 1, 2, 3. So I think I did 8 rows of half double crochets, 3 half double crochets. And then I lined them up again with a diagonal, I think. And folded the corners in just into the shape of a tie. Sewed the back very poorly. Did 2 more and sewed it in the square shape. And then sewed on this little brooch pin so that when you put it on, because you need to put your head in first, you can just pin it to the top there. But I think I made mine a little bit long. But that's okay. Okay, I've finally finished the outfit. And I'm kind of happy with how this ended up being. Because it took forever, but it ended up being pretty cute. So I hope you enjoyed. Maybe followed along.